Well, the world's on fire and I'm made of flame retardant. Fuck it. So, I'm making this video for other people around my age because everywhere you look right now, you're seeing groups of people that are twice their age saying, look how doomed the world is, look how fucked it is, and everything like that. You know, look at the shit we left for you guys, and I'm not gonna lie and say, oh no, they don't know what they're talking about. No, they know exactly what they're talking about. That's what's scary about it. But if it's anything, I'm going to give consultation to how I made peace with it, and I think other people can make peace with it too. I'm also going to give my perspective on what it's like being a Gen Zer, seeing the world that I'm going to be taking care of in the near future. You know, the youngest Gen Zers they'd be like, what, 12 now? Yeah. And the oldest, they'd be like 25, I believe, 26, somewhere around there. And I'm 20. I turned 20 a few days ago. With that being said, number one thing that you, as a Gen Zer, need to take advantage of in this modern age is the fact of the only reason you don't know something is because you won't look into it. You know, you don't need people to teach you how to do anything. I never had a guitar teacher. I learned online. Didn't have a guy teach me how to produce. Learned that online. Didn't have anybody teach me how to do what I'm doing right now. Learned that online. I may go to a school for it soon. I don't know. I'm gonna take my damn hat off. There we go. There's the fucked up hair. In this current age, if someone says, "Oh, I don't know how to get where I want to be because I don't know how to do it," it's like, well, that's a you problem. It's called Google. You know, if you don't even have Wi-Fi, go to your local fucking library. You know, I guarantee it, somehow, some way, you will be able to learn what you want to learn. You just have to apply yourself, right? And what I've noticed is right now in the world there are two camps of people in the West, and especially in America. There are those who decide to not apply themselves. There are two camps of people in America right now. There is the main camp, which is probably about 90% of them, if not more, who decided to only learn what the government required to teach them, and everything else you have the one camp of people who only learn what their government taught them and nothing else. They don't want to learn anything else. They want to spend all their time looking on TikToks and, you know, getting high all day, working at the local McDonald's for $11 an hour, being pissed off that they're not making 20. And then you have that other 5 to 10% of people who recognize, hey, anything I want to learn, I can learn it, and they do. So you have the one camp that is dumb as hell, and they're getting dumber every year. You look at the IQ rates in this country, they're going to the shitter. And then you have the other camp, the camp like me, and a few other people I know, where not only are they smart to begin with, they realize that they have a treasure trove of information at their fucking fingertips. So they just applied it and recognized there's no excuse for me to not know something, there's no excuse for me to not be able to do something. So they apply themselves, and they learn. You know, and it's made some people reach a whole new echelon of intelligence. I don't think I'd be where I was at 20 if I didn't have the capabilities of the internet. I don't think anybody would. The other thing someone who is a Gen Z and even a millennial, you know, needs to make peace with is the fact of the things our parents had, the old days, the old ways, those aren't coming back. That's not how the world works. At least they're not going to come back for a long time, and we're going to have to deal with a lot of struggle before we get back there, which I don't think is how it's going to go down anyways. Like, number one thing, you need to make peace with the fact of, here's a big thing as well, though, you shouldn't be complacent in the unraveling of the world. If there are ways for you to deal with things, and there are ways for you to change shit, you should. Like, number one thing, look at this administration right now with Biden. You have God knows how many, you know, undocumented newcomers entering the country from not just Mexico, not even Honduras, Guatemala, talking Nigeria, you know, Somalia, Iran, you know. You have just insane runaway inflation to a degree that we haven't seen in a very long time, you know. Things like that, we can absolutely do something about that. You don't have to just be like, oh yeah, the president has the IQ of a goldfish, and he's just going to go talk to all these world leaders and literally shit his pants in front of them, you know. Like, you don't have to be cool with that. You can do something about it. Here's number one thing, number one way you can do about it this year. Vote motherfucking Donald Trump. Straight up, you know, vote Donald Trump. I'm not ashamed to say it. I'll tell you that, that's who the hell I'm voting for this year. I like Vivek Ramaswamy. I don't think I quite trust him, though. You know, I'm kind of on the fence with him. I'm going with the guy I know will get shit done, and that's Donald Trump. You know, he's not going to cause World War III. So you can definitely do something about the world you live in, but to a certain degree, I think you also have to make peace with it, and don't fall into the traps of people that tell you, hey, here's the great solution to all your problems. All you have to do is sell your soul and work yourself to death, and don't be happy. That's how you achieve what you want in life. You know, that's how you achieve the thing that your parents had relatively easily. You know, like, you look at people like Andrew Tate, you know, and like his lackey, you know, Sneeko, and people like that, where they're basically saying the only way you can get a woman in this world is to be a guy who is a slave to the grind, doesn't give a shit about anything other than work, doesn't see women as people, sees them more as prizes and achievements, because that, I mean, the people like that, I've known people like that, they see a woman the same way I'd see a Lamborghini, like, where it's just like a status thing, you know, and that's the thing now. It's not a case of like, oh, you know, you want the 10 out of 10. Everybody wants a 10. You know, everybody wants a 10. It's a matter of, it's tough for a guy like me to get a 4. You know, it's tough for everybody I know to get anything that's decent. You know, and that's why you have people like, you know, Andrew Tates of the world coming out and saying, oh, I have the solution. You just need to be this alpha male. You need to bust your ass. You need to treat women like trash. You need to make millions and millions of dollars, have all these nice cars. You know, you need to do all this crazy shit. It's like, what happened to just being a gentleman and having your shit together? What happened to that? You know, if you have to do all that shit to be able to get a girl that's fuckable, maybe you should try to just attain other things, because at the end of the day, it's fun for the 15 minutes of the bedtime. Everything else is just, it's just bullshit. You know, it's 1% fun, 99% bullshit. That's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. The goal, I would say, for anyone's life, frankly, is to maximize long-term happiness. Now, that means, when I say maximize long-term happiness, that does not mean being a bad person. If your long-term happiness is going out and killing people at once a week, well, that's yeah, no. But as long as it's not hurting other people, I'm not going to want to be one of those people who's like, oh, well, it just shouldn't hurt you or other people. No, if your long-term happiness means you are like a daredevil kind of guy, you're adrenaline junkie, maybe you're a druggie, whatever, you know, if the only person you're hurting is you, but you're still doing all right, you're not fucking anybody else over, go for it. You're gambling with your life, but, you know, that's what you want. But the wrong thing to do is to be a person where you are an absolute slave to the grind. It's what you do when you get up, it's when you get up when you go to sleep, you know. And whenever you finally have what you want, you realize, oh my gosh, yes, this is a nice car, but there went all my 20s and 30s, you know. And some would say, well, like, yeah, but, I mean, look at the great shit you've achieved, and I don't think that's worth it. But you could be a guy like me, where the reason I like to work hard and do what I do is because I enjoy it. That's why I do what I do. Is I'm the kind of person where, well, working is what gets me up. I like making videos. I like practicing guitar. I like to work out. Like, I'm not happy unless I achieve things. But if you're one of those people where it's like, look, man, I just want to get up, fucking play video games, go to work, you know, and you're saying, but I could have more, just say, well, are you willing to do the work? And if you respond with, no, I hate doing it, then fuck it. Just be at peace with things. At the end of the day, you're not living in Somalia, where drinking clean water is like a, I mean, that's beyond a luxury over there. Remember, every day you go down to your sink, you pour water, you can drink from your faucet. That's a hell of an achievement in the world. You know, that's a hell of a thing to be proud of. If you say, man, there's just nothing good for me right now, look around, you know, and you can't do this whole thing of, oh, you know, you don't understand, Brad, not everybody has it easy. I've had some of the worst of it. I won't even get into everything that's gone on with me. Right now I'm about to have to start injecting myself once a week just so I can be able to eat fucking food. You know, that's one of the many things I've had go on in my life. But you know what? And by the way, I'm terrified of needles. I hate needles, but you know what? I don't see it as a big deal, because that's one, you know, that's fucking 0.1% of my day is pain, and the rest is, hey, you know, I got to drink a Dr. Pepper. That's pretty cool. 99% of the people in the world don't ever get to drink Dr. Pepper. You think about how many people in China just walk to the local grocery store and and get a 44 ounce? Nobody, you know? And of course there's going to be those people who say I'm crazy and I'm ranting and everything like that, and that's perfectly fine, you know? Just because I'm at peace with my life and I'm doing what I want to do doesn't mean that there's something wrong with me, you know? I just think that it's wise, because I could sit here and lie and say that it's not a matter of practicality, where there's a lot of things I could do in order to get views and get revenue from different videos I make, but this is something where it is a matter of also just trying to help other people, you know, seeing that through all the shit I've been through, I've managed to come out okay, especially in a terrible time like this, where people like me, you know, straight white men are like the #1 most affected, but I'm like, cool, you know, maybe there's something that I know, especially at my age, that other people like me should know. It's just a good idea as well to get prepared for anything that comes in the future, because, yeah, I mean, it's not an exaggeration to say that this country's not just going to shit, it's in the toilet. It's in the fucking toilet, and there's probably going to be a civil war that is a final result of it, you know. And that's the other thing I want to make people know. It's like, hey, these times you're living in where you got a roof over your head, you got good air conditioning, you got the medicine that you need, anything like that, you know, don't take that shit for granted, because the moment you don't have that, you really you really start thinking, wow, my life wasn't that fucked up, you know. So that's another important thing to mention. And I think it's also good for people to prepare for the world they're going to have to face. You know, learn how, go get a fighting class, go get in shape. You know, I was in MMA, I was in boxing, I was in Goju Karate. You know, I was also a Woodward County Sheriff Explorer. You know, so I learned how to do tactical training, and I learned like some judo kind of stuff there too. You know, learn different survival techniques, get some survival books. You know, learn how to shoot, get a gun, learn how to, you know, protect yourself. You know, and that's the thing for the people who are living in areas where they have the money to move, and they're in an area where they can't protect themselves. The cops won't deal with places being looted and homeless in, you know, sitting in their yard and literally taking a shit in front of their building. It's like, okay, if you don't want that, okay, yeah, you move over here, move to Oklahoma. But don't vote for the people that caused that shit. Come here and vote for Stitt. You know, vote for the Donald Trump kind of people. Don't vote for whatever person made your place a crap hole. Don't do that. You know, keeping it 100% clear. Don't vote lefty. Don't vote Democrat. You know, because it is the left that's doing this. There's not another way to preface this. And another big thing is just, like I said, do the things that you know don't just make you happy in the short term, where it's like you gotta work really hard for it and then you get like this 1% of the time you spent getting it, you feel great. If that's the case, no, that's not what you want. You know, at least that's damn sure not what I want. And because I've been down that road, it's not worth it. You know, look at all those billionaires that hate themselves. Look at all those multimillionaires who commit suicide. Anthony Bourdain, the happiest guy I could think of. He traveled the world. You know, got to eat delicious food from every continent and met incredible people. He fucking hung himself. He hung himself, and that was his living, was doing that. So things are never quite as they seem. So you ought to think long and hard about what you really want and what you really need. And my God, you know, keep doing shit old school, man. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, don't worry about what other people think, and keep it old school. That's my thing. I'm 20 years old. Everybody knows says I got an old soul. I hang out with other people that have an old soul. I'm just a old redneck from bumfuck Oklahoma, and I love it. Love every minute of it. I thank God every day that I live here and do what I do. You know, that's the thing. There ain't nothing wrong with just being a guy who likes to go out and fish on the weekends. You know, likes to go hunting, likes to chill on his front porch and drink sweet tea and play guitar. You know, there ain't nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be this big time, you know, social media celebrity. You don't have to brag to you don't have to have all this nice stuff that you can brag to your friends about. You can just enjoy your time and realize that, hey, you know what? Fucking, well, like not even 400 years ago, they were still setting people on fire because they said they were witches and shit. Like be happy that you're living in the time you are now, you know. Me personally, I'm going to do what I can to try to build the world that I want it to be, and I won't go down. I won't go down without a fight. You know, won't do it. But I tell you this right now. At the end of the day, I'm just kind of George Carlin in it. You know, I'm gonna sit there, and I'm going to watch shit unfold, and I'll be like, you know what? At least I'm living in a crazy ass timeline. At least I get to tell my grandkids, if I have any, like, hey, this is the shit I lived through. You know, let's talk about it. You know, because that's the thing. Everything you see right now is history. You know, and if it makes you feel bad, don't pay attention to it. Fuck it. That's what's cool now. Anything that you don't want to pay attention to and it unnecessarily bothers you, just turn it the fuck off. Just turn it off. You know, if you're watching the news all day and you're realizing, God damn, every time I go to sleep, I'm fucking worried. Yeah, and God, there's so much racial division going on in the country and all this shit. Turn it off. Just turn it off. You won't fucking miss it. You know? And if you're the kind of guy like me, where you see that stuff and you're like, you know what? This is really interesting. Well, I'll compare it to how things were in the 60s and make cool videos about it and talk about it, discuss it amongst my friends. Like a lot of old school country guys, we like to talk politics. You know? That's different. You know, but if it's something that's just needlessly bothering you, fuck it. And that means social media too. You know, like 99% of people, including me, I have to limit myself. I just recently set a reminder to limit my social media use yesterday on my Instagram. If you're like me, to where after you start scrolling for about a minute, you start comparing yourself to other people, and you start to notice, man, I'm not feeling as good as I was a minute ago. It's simple. It's called the fucking off button. There we go. You know, you ain't gonna be miserable anymore. You know, and the other thing that I will say, especially because there is a mental health crisis in this country, there's a drug crisis, there's an everything crisis right now. Number one, when it comes to drugs, stay away from them. And I'm not going to be one of those people, oh, you know, I'm straight edge, you need to... No, it's not a matter of... It's a matter of, you know, 30 years ago, if you had a coke habit, chances are the first time you did coke, you weren't going to die from it. Nowadays, with this fentanyl shit, and everybody having it, stay away from that shit. It's not worth it. It is not worth it, because at least it used to be a fun drug that had, like, some bad long-term consequences. Now it's just a fun drug that'll kill you real quick, and it's not fun at all. You're gambling with your life with that shit. Everything is heroin now, essentially. You know, just X-nay on that. Watch more fucking... Play more fucking GTA. Play something that gets your dopamine up another fucking way. Work out a bunch. There's a lot of ways to get that dopamine rush without shoving something up your nose. You know? And I'm speaking from experience because I had a tough time with this for a very long time. And social media causes it for everybody. Quit comparing yourself to people. And I know that's hard, but like I said earlier, if you turn that social media off, it gets easier. You know, just quit. And instead of seeing, look what this person has, look what I have, say, you know what? I have what I have because I'm in a different situation than this person. At the end of the day, you're all a product of your environment. Me personally, I don't believe in free will. If you believe in free will, that's fine. You know, but at the end of the day, instead of seeing, man, he's got this car and I have this, say, you know what? I'm doing pretty good. I got a car. Seriously. You know, look at everything glass half full, man. I used to be a major pessimist. All these things I'm saying that I'm talking about, it describes what I was like 2 or 3 years ago. You know, and it can throw a wrench in your life. And some people, I think they'll never escape it, that I know personally. You know, and I think I said pretty much what I have to say. Follow this YouTube if you like any kind of reviews, you know, video games, movies, TV shows, books. I do like the book versus movie comparisons, you know. And follow my music channel if you like any kinds of comedy skits, you know, for rap, rock, country, EDM, all of that. You know, I do everything. I'm a workaholic, man. But yeah, if y'all like that, check that out, and y'all have a great day.